And for the moment, I work here with the geological department with Professor Ubreti on the geology of Nepal. The one volume he has not yet written. So this is, I think, my biggest relation to my father, Nepal. It's already when he was a child, in the winter time, when it was snowing, he never wear gloves because he told to his father, when I am older, I will go to the Himalaya. And then he had the chance to got chosen with this Swiss team in 1950. Wasn't not so many. I came back in '62. At that time, he was the chief of the International Red Cross for the Tibetan refugees. And then I came later, mostly for trekking for some years, and then only in the 90s I started to come with him regularly to Pokhara, but not. I mean, he was then quite old. So when I went for trekking, I was alone or with my husband. So. Because that time in the 1950s, it was nothing. It was like middle age. And now it is, Nepal is developing very fast. Maybe, of course, they have many problems when you get so quick development. And I was laughing when I read here in Nepal in a newspaper that in Nepal there are more handies than toilets. So maybe this is really typical. So the techniques, but so everyone has a handy, and even if maybe they cannot read very well, but they have a handy. And it is always difficult to get such a development within a few years from middle age to the modern world with all these techniques. And anyhow, I think Nepal managed it quite well. The near west, I don't know so well. The area of Pokhara, west of Pokhara. So now we are going to Rolpa. I have never been there. But for the trekking areas, of course, I have been in Humla, I have been in Dolpo, I have been around Annapurna, I have been in Mustang, in Langtang, in Ganesh area. For trekking, I did a lot. But in the Midlands, I don't have been in all parts. Except for the camps now, but these are more in certain areas. Bajura, Darchula, Paitadi.
And Jumla also.
And Jumla. And also once in Terai, in Kapilwas. I started to come here in the 90s. There was a Nepali neurosurgeon who was working in Germany, and he came every year here for 1 month to do operations. So I started, okay, why not? I'm hand surgeon. And then I started to work together with Dr. Kishapshoshi in Beer Hospital. And then only later, after 10, 12 years, I heard about the medical camps. I think also from NOH, here Sud. And then I thought, why this medical camp? This would be much more helpful if we have a team and go somewhere than if I do only a few operations. And so we started. The first medical camp was in Chiri in 2011, I think. There's a big difference between in the remote areas and here.
Yeah.
And Well, you get when you go trekking, then you get one experience when you walk and see the villages, and I always ask about the economics and about everything. And when you go to a camp, this is totally different. And I think one of the things I was most astonished when we have been in Kapilvastu, how many poor people there are in the Terai. I mean, it's nearby everywhere, roads, it's developed, but how many poor people? And then, of course, I'm very much impressed when we are in the, for example, first time when we have been in W. The patient they came 2 days walk just to see us.
2 days walk.
2 days walk, yes, and so from far away. Now it's little bit better because there are almost everywhere roads, but still, some patients come and have to take one day to come and then peace. That especially if a child has a problem with the hand, that parents do not realize what will be what is it really what is the problem and what should be done. So I sometimes I said you need this child needs an operation, otherwise later it will have a lot of problem. And then the mother said no. Or they disappeared. They said, okay, we have to discuss with the relatives. And they said, no surgery and nothing. And even I remember very well there was a child with a burn contracture of a leg, 4 years old. The leg was like this. It's not a big problem to operate, but we could not do it on the camp. And we offered to the mother, we will pay everything fair and the treatment here in Kathmandu, but they did not turn up. And I'm sure this child can never walk. And this is little bit, this is a problem I have difficulties to understand. In the remote areas, they they go also to the healer and to the witch and to everyone, and they said no, don't go, and they believe other things. Maybe because my father he also wanted to help with Nepali, and then I said, well, this is my opinion. You have to do some benefit to others, not only to take care of yourself and look how much money you get. You have to do things. And I don't do it at home because I said, with my connections here, I have the best connections to do something here in Nepal. And I must say I'm very happy to work together with NOH because this is really a wonderful hospital. It belongs to the non-government, non-profit hospital, and they do a good work. And I, when you do something in another country, you need a good partner. Otherwise, it fails. I know too many who just thought, oh, this is a good partner, and they were cheated and also. And this is, for me, one of the most important things, and I am happy that I have this. So when I have this connection, I have to do something. I think there was last year we also support some poor patients in the spinal injury center. And there was an 8-year-old boy. He was in the wheelchair with his grandmother, not outside of Kathmandu, but a little bit you had to walk up. He could not go to school because there was nobody there to carry him to school. And then I offered, there is in Jorpati, there is this school for children with in the wheelchair. I offered we will pay everything for the school and everything, and then the mother decided no. And this affected me very much. I mean, it's near Kathmandu, and she decided about the future of the child who has no future. Just sitting in the wheelchair, looking out of the window and running 10 meters before the house with the wheelchair after it was stripped down. These are things which I struggle with me. Maybe also I cannot understand. I have to try to understand the different mentality. On this way, as I told you, I was looking in the villages how they are living. I was asking what about the economy, about what they are doing, and how is the situation. So I was really very much interested in the countryside and in the people, and this gives me also a lot of knowledge now to understand better here in the medical camp when these people come. So I know from tracking the problems of the remote areas. I know a little bit, not much.
Yeah.
I think the tracking situation is not bad. Maybe, but this is a problem you find everywhere. If you get a lot of money from these tracking agencies and the rest does not benefit. For example, I must say, when I was in Simicot, you remember this Indian pilgrims? They came in the morning by the plane to Simicot, and they took the helicopter to the border, and they went by jeep to Mansarovar to Kailas. They came back maybe the same time, and they went down to Nepal Ganj or even to Delhi. And the local people in Simicot, they complained they don't get any money from this.
Oh.
Only if they fell
Yeah.
ill. Her is little bit educated. She wants that her children get better education, and she works hard. And if a mother is not educated, then she thinks why. So these organizations and who help with microcredit to the farmers, to the women, and so this is a very, very good thing. They don't give only microcredit, but they also give them instruction how to run, a little bit to read, about economics and about everything. And this is not only here, but I know also someone who told me from India, from these people who were, low caste, looking about the garbage, what can they take, and this was one of the entrepreneurs of Switzerland who went there in a house, very poor people, very clean, and these women said, you see, I work 10 hours, 12 hours a day, but I want that my children have it better. I work hard, that I can send them to school. And I think this is the most important thing. And when a mother says, why should my son go to school? Then it's very bad for the children. This is good. Only a little problem is in many areas, the teachers are paid by the government. They are not very much motivated. For example, we sponsored first a private school in a village in eastern Nepal because there was no school. And then it started with 20 students, and then it ended with 200 students, and then the government built a school also. There are still now more. But then the result from the private school, the examination, 90% passed the examination, and from the government school it was only 20 to 30%. Because, this was also an area by which there were a lot of Maoists, so they were more interested in politics than in educating the children. And I think this is, school building is good, but you need also good teachers.
Yes.